What's up, everybody? This is Kerry. In this video, I'm going to give you my best bets for Week 17 of the NFL season. Now, looking at our record so far, we went 1-4 in Week 16. We've definitely had a pretty bad stretch since Week 10, well, Week 11 there. We're still at a positive, profitable winning percentage, and we've won 3.43 units. And as I've said before, I did take picks in Week 15, even though I didn't post a video, and so I'm going to show you that as well. I went 3-1. So about 54% on my personal best bets. The only difference here is Week 15, and I'm up over 5 units. I'm not discouraged. I'm just more determined. Okay, so here we go. Week 16 recap. Trend 1, divisional road favorites in weeks 10 to 16 to cover the spread. This was 1-1. The Bengals did not do that. In fact, the Steelers beat them pretty handily, but the Lions did cover the spread. Trend number 2 did not occur in week 16, but as we're going to see here in a second, there's 3 of these bets for week 17. Trend number 3. Now, this is one I've been talking about for most of the season. I'm really high on this trend. Unfortunately, in week 16, we went 0-3 on this trend. However, the trend, as I have posted in my video best bets, is at 55%. As I mentioned before, if we actually place these bets based on the closing line value, look at the closing totals over there. The Saints at the Rams, I would not have picked that one. They went to 45.5 before game time. The Lions at the Vikings, I also would not have picked that one as well. The Ravens at the 49ers went to 47. I definitely would have picked that one. But as it turns out, if we look at the closing totals right before game time, then these are the bets I would have taken. The Ravens at the 49ers, I would have taken that one, but it didn't work out. The Cowboys at the Dolphins, I do not remember the opening line there, but it landed on 50. And I actually did place that personally, and that also went under, so that worked. The first 2 there, I would not have picked. So based on the line right before game time, if I would have taken these, I would have been 1-1. Week 17, best bets. Here are the trends for week 17, the ones we've already mentioned before, and they're still operating at a very high percentage here. Trend number 1, divisional road teams that lost as home favorites earlier in the year and then covered the spread later on in game number 2. We have the Saints plus 3.0 at the Bucks. Now, I want to make sure this is clear. The picks here are in the far left-hand column, and the spreads are in the second column. So I'm picking the Saints plus 3.0 at the Bucks, the Titans plus 4.5 at the Texans, and the Chargers plus 3.0 at the Broncos. The Titans don't really have much to play for, neither do the Chargers, but I believe that the players that get out on the field play to the top of their abilities, regardless of what you see or what you might hear otherwise. As I've said all the time, feel free to fade my bets. If you don't like those last 2, I don't blame you. But because they're part of this trend, I'm going to follow them. Trend number 2, games with one of these 5 values for the total to go under. So again, here is the bet. Dolphins at the Ravens, 47.0. I bet the under. Packers at the Vikings, 46.5 under. And 49ers at the Commanders, 49.5 under. I bet all of these right before I made this video on a Wednesday. Now, before I get to my last slide, I want to show you one more thing. Bonus picks. Now, what I'm doing here is I've made several models, and I mentioned this earlier in the season, weeks 4 and 5. I was going to show my models. I didn't do that because these trends were working so well. Now, I'm not getting desperate here. I do not chase picks. Of course, that's one of the worst things you can do as a sports bettor, is to try to make up for losses by picking other bets that maybe are not as good or not as strong, maybe don't have as much value. This particular model picks unders for the totals, and it's at 58.6% for 2023. It was over 58% for 2022. So that model picks the following. Now, these are bonus picks. Feel free to take them. Feel free to fade them if you like to. But the Cardinals at the Eagles at 48.0. Rams at the Giants at 43.5, and the Patriots at the Bills at 40.5. All of these I'm picking under. Again, not the video best bets here, just extra picks in case you're curious or want to look into things. Or maybe you thought about these particular games and you have some other reasons why you might want to go under here. Maybe this is just one more reason to help you make that decision. Now, we only have 2 more weeks of the regular season. I will be putting out best bets videos for week 1 of the playoffs, but what my ultimate goal is here, as I've said many times, is to get to 55% after 18 weeks. And I feel pretty good about these particular picks in week 17. So as always, good luck, have fun, let's go.